All right, so the protractor, now this protractor goes from 0 to 180 and then goes from 180 to 360. But that's another very important point, okay? What else can you use this protractor to draw besides an arc? And what else can you use it to draw? A circle. You can use a protractor to draw a circle. Because if you put the protractor on the paper this way, right, you can draw the circle, the top arc of the circle this way, and then turn the protractor over and draw it the other half, part of the circle, the other half of the circle. Okay? Everybody understand that? So you can also use a protractor to draw a circle. All right? Everybody with me? Okay. Now, how do we use a protractor to draw an angle? Okay. Well, the first thing you want to do is figure out what angle you want to draw. That's really the first thing you want to do. Okay. And if I want to draw a 30-degree angle, all right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ruler, or I'm sorry, my pencil, and I'm going to make 3 points. I am going to put my first point at 0 degrees. All right? My first point at 0 degrees. I'm going to erase that, and I'm going to go here. It's only because of the way this protractor is set up. Okay? First point at 0 degrees. Okay? My second point, I'm going to put at 30 degrees. And my third point, I'm going to put at the vertex. Okay? Now, the reason I'm going to do that is because who remembers when they were maybe 4 years old or 5 years old, and mommy or daddy brought you home a Connect the Dots book? Remember Connect the Dots? Connect the Dots was fun. Well, that's exactly what you're going to do when you draw an angle. You're going to draw an angle by making points on the angle and then connecting the points accordingly. And let's go to this protractor, which is a better example of a protractor, what I really want you to use. Okay? So, let me go back to drawing a 30-degree angle. 0, 30, it's not really squared up there, okay? It's that way. Okay, all right, I just let it go. Okay, let it go. All right, so we place our points on, and then we're going to connect the dots, if you will, and draw the angle. All right? So to draw this angle, what I would do is I would then take the straight edge of my protractor. This is the straight edge of my protractor, you see, and I would first put it on the line on the vertex to 0 degrees, and I would draw a line. I would I? Get this out of the way. No. All right, so we made our 3 points. This is the vertex. All right, and by the way, we wouldn't call it the vertex. We would give it a letter. Okay. All right, we would give each one of our points a letter, but we're not going to do that yet. So then I take my ruler. Remember, you give a man an inch piece of ruler. This isn't going to be as straight as I want it to be because I always do I always forget about that. Okay. All right, sorry. All right, so anyway, I would take my ruler. I'm not going to take my ruler because I'll mess it up. And I would draw a ray through that point with an arrow on it. Okay? I would then draw another ray with my ruler, which I'm not using, through this point with an arrow on it. Okay? I would then take my protractor. I'm going to rotate this. I know I can rotate it. There we go. Rotate it here. Stick it right there. See where it is here? And there's a reason why I'm going to do that. Does anyone know why I'm going to do that? Hector? Well, not exactly. It's a good answer. Good answer is not the answer I'm looking for. Kristen? Well, what I want you to do is you're going to draw an arc in here. Actually, let me move this back just a little bit because that's too deep. And you're going to draw an arc in here, there. Now I'm going to move this out of the way. And I'm going to label the measurement of the angle. I know it's a 30-degree angle. Now, it's probably not exactly a 30-degree angle, but I would write 30 degrees in it. Okay? But I'm not done. I now have to label my points. I have to label my points. All right? Because every point should be labeled. How do we label points? With a what? Carly Parker? A capital letter. Okay? So, I'm going to label my points. I'm going to call this point D. I'm going to call this point U. And I'm going to call this point F. D-U-F. If I had a point B, it would actually spell dumb, but we'll just pretend it's D-U-F. Okay? All right? Now, the last thing I would do, of course, is to... Let me take this. There we go. I would bring this back here and measure and make sure by placing that on the vertex, and again, I knew it would be off a little bit because I moved it, to make sure this goes directly through 30 degrees. Everybody understand that? Yes or no? Video demonstration of how to draw an angle. Click next to begin. All right? Okay, so there, now you have your protractor. You see the protractors on the vertex here. Did everybody see that? Place at the point of origin, point Q, which is where it is right now, point Q. Everybody with me? All right, now I move the protractor. Rotate the protractor so that its baseline is along line JK. This is line JK, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Next. Use the inner scale to read the angle over line LM. This is line LM here. All right? It should read 34 degrees. It does according to this, so we're going to trust it. See the arc in here that I drew when I showed you how to draw an angle? Yes or no? Okay. Now rotate the protractor so that its base is along line LM. Next. Use the outer scale and read the angle over the line JK. It also is reading 34 degrees. So this is why you have two different scales. Does everybody understand that? Okay, you're verified the angles are congruent, which we'll get to in just a minute. Okay? All right? All right, John, I want you to draw us a 70-degree angle. John puts a point at the vertex. Yes. What? You know what? You put good. 70-degree angle, John. Put your point for 70 degrees. Okay. All right. Now, you your foot marking down first. Okay. Hold on now. Okay, John's going to try to connect the dots here. Best he can. Do the best you can. He may not get perfect, but try to connect the dots so we have an idea here. Okay? Alright. That's good. You're not going to get it perfect. Try your best. Stay on that line. Good. Don't forget to put your Ray. Jay. Call me Ray. You got it like that the other day, Mr. Peterson? Okay. Turn it around the other way. Oh, you know what? Okay. Now John's going to draw the bottom ray. Okay. Put your marker down and get that protractor out of the way, John. Move it out of the axis. Now, go ahead and label your, and again, you're not very straight. Go ahead and label your points. Label your points. That's not labeling the points. You just label the arrow. Label the point. Put a point. Let me see your point. Put a point on there. That's it. Thank you. Okay. See, yes, I knew what he was going to do too.
Oh, wow.
Okay, and then you would don't use the protractor, but go ahead and draw your arc in the middle of the label there. Okay. All right. Very good. Thank you. Okay. There are 3 different types of angles. All right. They are acute, right, and what? Obtuse. Okay? A right angle, of course, it measures exactly 90 degrees. Okay? An acute angle measures less than 90 degrees. And of course, an obtuse angle is what?
90 to 180.
Greater than, not 90 to 180, no. Greater than 90 degrees. You remember, the best way to remember an acute angle is this. Just remember me, acute is less than 90 degrees. I'm acute, and that's how you remember, okay? Okay? You remember that, all right? And acute angle is less than 90 degrees. Not 90 degrees or lower. Less than 90 degrees. So an 89.5 degree angle is acute. A 90.25 degree angle is obtuse. Right? The best way to remember that is at like a pair of scissors. Right? And you think when you're looking at an angle to measure it, okay, if the scissors are closing in, then it's like an obtuse angle. Okay? If they are opening up, I'm sorry, if they're closing in, it's like an acute angle. Okay? If the further open they are, it's like an obtuse angle. All right? It's the best way to remember it. Why is it important to know that? Why, if I gave you 7 angles to measure on a sheet of paper, why would it be important using that protractor to know acute, right, or obtuse?